Genius Nation, what's going on? Welcome to the Daily Genius. I am Dr. Will, and wherever you are in the world, I hope your day is starting off fantastic and you are ready to dominate the day. As always, I'm super excited that you're here with us for the Daily Genius. The Daily Genius is my offer to you to help you to be a more productive person, to help you create the life that you love and to become the very best version of yourself. So thank you so much. This is episode number 56. So thank you so much for showing up for yourself. So I want to talk to you this morning about you are enough. You are enough. You guys know I get up about 3 or 4 o'clock. And so by the time I do the Daily Genius here with you, I've been up for a couple of hours. And already today, I've had a couple of coaching sessions working with a couple of clients. And just for whatever reason, these two particular clients that I'm working with today, the issue or the subject of imposter syndrome came up. Imposter syndrome came up. And so I want to talk to you about being enough and the importance of understanding that you are enough and the harmony that takes place with discovering what I call your genius. You know, I wrote a book called Genius Potential, and it's all about you discovering your genius, developing your genius, and then releasing your genius. But at the same time, as you're developing your genius, you're also developing as a person. And there's this harmony that has to strike, right? There's this harmony that has to strike. I was sharing with someone the other day. There is a thing that you are genius and you can be flawed at the same time. And that's where all of us find ourselves, meaning you can be amazing in one area of your life and still need to develop in another area of your life. And a lot of times we focus on that development side, that side that's lacking, that side that needs to be improved. And then it makes us diminish our genius side. And so when it comes to you showing up in your genius, showing up in your brilliance, instead of focusing on your brilliance, you're looking at that one little flaw. You know, for those of us who do this that are in the public eye, you can go like as a public speaker, professional speaker, I can go and speak to 1,000 people and 999 will say, Dr. Will, that was amazing. And then one person will come up and say, you know what, that really didn't resonate with me. I don't know what you're talking about. And just as humans, we will gravitate to that one negative. You know, you could be wearing a particular outfit. You could just have gotten your hair done and everybody's giving you compliments. And someone will come up and say, you wore that. And instead of focusing on all the compliments, you start focusing on that one negative. And it happens to so many of us and it creates sabotage. We self-sabotage. And so you have to fundamentally understand that even in your development, that you are enough, You know, I was telling my client this morning, a fish doesn't learn how to swim. It just swims. A fish doesn't learn how to swim. And the more you embrace who you are, and you just be who you are. See, social media and all of this stuff, it makes us compare ourselves to what everybody else has got going on. And we all do it. I don't care who you are. We all do it, right? It's what I call the reflection syndrome, right? Whenever you see somebody else, it makes you reflect on yourself. If you look at somebody else's new shoes, you got to look at your shoes. You look at somebody else's new car, you start looking at your car. You look at somebody else's new house, you start looking at your house. And you start feeling as though, well, maybe I'm not doing as good as I should be because they're doing this or they got that. But you got to fundamentally understand and embrace, I'm enough. I'm on my own journey. I'm watering my own garden. And you got to repeatedly tell yourself that. until it gets into your subconscious where you can now celebrate for other people. You can appreciate what's going on in other people's life and not think that it's diminishing your life. Like I can celebrate your accomplishments. I can celebrate what God is doing for you. And I don't feel any less because I'm on my own different journey. And so, in social media world, all of us, we show our highlight film. We show our highlight film. And then many of us, when people are showing their highlight film, we're looking at our present life and comparing our present life to their highlight film. And for those of you, a highlight film is just all the good stuff. It's all the good stuff. I'll share with you when my son gets on the honor roll, but I'm not posting when I just had to correct him. And so I'll post when he does something good at his game, but I won't post when I'm almost about to strangle him, right? And so I can paint this picture of, man, Dr. Will kids don't do nothing. And here my kids are, they over here screaming, they over here talking back. I'm over here chastising them. And now you're comparing my highlight film, my kids' highlight film to your real life. And that's why I always share with people, listen, a post is only a reflection of a moment in time, right? Like people will post that picture, but you don't know that's picture number 55. You don't know they have filtered it and redid it. And you're just thinking like, oh man, whenever they show up, what's that one song? I woke up like this. We're really thinking people are waking up flawless, right? And we're not realizing that, oh, wait a minute. This is picture number 150. You don't know how many retakes they've done. And so you're comparing your video and saying, man, I keep messing up. Well, you don't know how many times they messed up before they decided to post it. So stop comparing yourself and let yourself know I'm enough. I'm enough. I'm not going to compare myself to anyone else. I am enough, because comparison, it really is the thief of greatness. It really is the thief of your genius when you're comparing yourself. Share this story with you that helped me. I remember my first trip. I got invited to speak over in Ghana. And I was obviously thrilled to be going to Ghana, but I was also perplexed and I felt inadequate. Why are they wanting me to come speak? There's so many other great speakers. And I remember getting off the plane, and the gentleman that came to pick me up, I literally asked him and gave him a list of some other people. I'm like, do you know such and such? Well, what about this person? And what about this person? I was giving them names of all these other great speakers and individuals. And I'll never forget, he looked at me and he said, we don't know any of those individuals. We do know Dr. Will, and that's who we want. And it was that moment that I realized that I had a place in this world, that I had a voice in this world, that I had something to say that people wanted to hear. But I had to go all the way to Ghana to realize that lesson, because I'll never forget, like I'm literally had a list of people like, hey, did you reach out to, did you ask such and such? I thought literally I convinced myself, everybody else had said no, and they just finally got down to me and was like, well, let's see if this guy wants to come. And so to realize that I was their first choice and their only choice, and they had seen me do something that resonated with them, well, that's true for you. You don't have to be liked by everybody. You just have to be liked by the ones you're called to. You have to just be liked by the ones that are called to resonate with you. And the only way they're going to be able to resonate with you is when you're your true self. When you're trying to act like somebody else, then that confuses them. So there's a saying that says, will the real Will stand up, or will the real you stand up? That's what the world is waiting for the real you, whatever that is. Let me share this with you. It's so powerful. And I think it's so needed in our world that it's this little phrase that if you would learn to add this little phrase to your description of things and people and talent and artists, it will so free you and it will so empower you. And this phrase is simply, to me. Let me share you how you use it as an example. Taylor Swift music is not appealing to me. What happens a lot of times, we say Taylor Swift's music is not good. And that's not true, because the over 300 million people on her Instagram disagree with you, right? And so if you could learn to say, Taylor Swift music doesn't appeal to me, or Taylor Swift music is good to me. Doesn't have to be good to everybody else. It's good to me, right? Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is not funny to me, or Kevin Hart is funny to me. And if we would learn how to do that in life, we wouldn't have to battle with anyone. We wouldn't have to fuss with anyone. We wouldn't have to debate with anyone, because at the end of the day, all of it's personal opinion. And as I look around the world and I travel around the world, I see people at odds with each other simply because they didn't add that little phrase, to me. And once you say that, it shuts down everything, because I'm not trying to make anyone funny to you. I'm sharing with you who's funny to me. And for them to be funny to me, they don't have to be funny to you. For their music to be good to me, it doesn't have to be good to you. You can still hold your opinion, and I can still hold my opinion. I don't have to convince you to come over to my side, and you don't have to convince me to come over to your side. And when you learn to do this, man, that food is not good to me. You don't have to call someone's food nasty. You don't have to call someone's restaurant not good. All you have to do is say, you know what? It wasn't appealing to me. I don't have to tell somebody, oh, you're not going to like that. I wouldn't go there. No, you don't have to do that. You can share your experience and say, for me, for my liking, it wasn't to my liking. It wasn't good to me. But you go and have your own experience, and then we can come back and have a conversation, and you can share with me your experience. And so when you get to this place of knowing that you're enough, you don't have to bring down anybody else. You don't have to bash anybody else. You don't have to bash anybody else. You can cheer other people, because you know that you are enough. So I hope that helps you out today. Go out there and have a magnificent day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow right back here for the Daily Genius. Go out there and crush it, guys.